There's a moment in every person's life when the noise becomes unbearable. The opinions, the expectations, the endless parade of other people's emergencies masquerading as your own. And in that moment, if you're quiet enough, you'll hear it, a whisper from somewhere deep within asking, "When did I stop living my own life?" Carl Jung once said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." This is not about selfishness. This is about survival. The survival of your soul. Most of us spend our lives reacting. Reacting to demands. Reacting to crises that aren't ours. Reacting to the personas we've built to please a world that will never be satisfied. We scatter ourselves across 100 different fires, trying to put them all out, never realizing we're the ones who are burning. Jungian philosophy teaches us that the path to wholeness, what Jung called individuation, begins not with fixing the world around us, but with turning inward, with confronting the chaos within, with doing the one thing most people spend their entire lives avoiding, focusing on fixing your own life. Not tomorrow, not when things calm down. Because the truth is, until you do, nothing else will ever truly change. Step 1. Recognize that fixing others is how you avoid fixing yourself. We tell ourselves we're being helpful, noble even, but depth psychology reveals a harder truth. Our obsession with other people's problems is often a defense mechanism. It's easier to see someone else's shadow than to face your own. Jung understood this deeply. He spoke of projection, the unconscious act of seeing in others what we refuse to see in ourselves. When you're constantly trying to fix your partner, your friend, your family, ask yourself, what am I running from in my own inner life? The unconscious mind is clever. It will keep you busy with external chaos so you never have to sit with the internal one. Imagine a gardener who spends every day tending to his neighbor's garden. He waters their plants, pulls their weeds, trims their hedges. His neighbor's garden flourishes. But his own? Overgrown, strangled by weeds, the soil cracked and dry. One day, someone asks him, "Why don't you tend to your own garden?" He pauses. The truth rises like a stone in his throat. "Because," he says quietly, "if I look at my own garden, I'll have to see what I've let die." This is the human condition. We become experts in everyone else's darkness to avoid the terrifying intimacy of our own. You cannot heal what you will not face. And you cannot face what you're too busy avoiding. Fixing your life means withdrawing the energy you've poured into managing, controlling, and rescuing others, and redirecting it inward, toward the garden of your own soul. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop hiding. Step 2. Dismantle the persona that keeps you acceptable but hollow. In Jungian philosophy, the persona is the mask we wear to navigate the social world. It's necessary, to a degree. But when the persona becomes who you are, rather than what you wear, you lose yourself. You become the helpful one, the strong one, the one who never needs help. And beneath that mask, exhaustion, resentment, a quiet, gnawing emptiness. Carl Jung warned, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But you can't become who you are if you're too busy being what others need you to be. There was once a man who wore a suit of armor every day. He wore it so long that people forgot what he looked like beneath it. Even he forgot. The armor protected him, yes, but it also weighed him down. It rusted. It cut into his skin. One night, alone, he tried to remove it and realized he didn't know how. The buckles had fused. The metal had become part of him. He wept, not because he was trapped, but because he had trapped himself. This is what happens when we live only for the approval of others. We forget we were ever free. To fix your life, you must become ruthlessly honest about who you've been pretending to be. Ask yourself, what am I performing? Who am I performing for? What would I lose if I stopped? The answers will terrify you. And that's how you'll know you're finally telling the truth. Step 3. Stop running from your shadow. Turn and face it. The shadow, in Jungian therapy, is everything about yourself you've disowned. The anger, the selfishness, the desires you've deemed unacceptable. Most people spend their entire lives trying to be good. But goodness without integration is just repression. And repression always finds a way out, through illness, through sabotage, through sudden, inexplicable collapses. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Shadow work is not about becoming darker. It's about becoming whole. Picture a tree. Above ground, it reaches toward the sun, beautiful, strong, admired. But beneath the soil, unseen, its roots stretch just as far. Gnarled, twisted, feeding on decay. Without those roots, the tree would topple. The darkness sustains the light. Your shadow is the root system of your soul. Deny it, and you become shallow, fragile, easy to topple. Embrace it, and you become unshakable. Fixing your life means descending into the parts of yourself you've labeled as bad. Not to indulge them, but to understand them, to integrate them, to stop wasting energy keeping them locked away. This is the spiritual path of the mature soul, not transcendence. Integration. Step 4. Let go of who you thought you'd be by now. There's a grief that lives in the gap between expectation and reality. The life you thought you'd have, the person you thought you'd become. And until you mourn that version of yourself, until you bury it with full ceremony, you'll remain haunted. You'll keep trying to resurrect a dream that's already dead. Fixing your life requires letting it die first. The old identity, the old story, the old plans. Carl Jung wrote, "We cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning." And yet, so many of us try. A woman once carried a photograph of herself from 10 years ago. Every day she looked at it. Every day she compared herself to that younger face. That thinner body. That brighter smile. She spent a decade trying to return to a moment that no longer existed. One day she burned the photograph. Not in anger. In ceremony. And for the first time in years, she could see herself clearly. Not as she was. Not as she hoped to be. But as she is. And that was enough. You are allowed to grieve the future that won't come. You are allowed to release the person you thought you'd be. This isn't failure. This is spiritual awakening. Because only when you stop chasing ghosts can you finally inhabit your own life. Step 5. Live from your center, not from your edges. Empaths, highly sensitive souls, those walking a spiritual path, they often feel the weight of the world so intensely that they forget they have an inner world at all. But Jungian philosophy reminds us, the self, that luminous center Jung spoke of, is your true north. Not your trauma, not your conditioning, not the voices of people who will never understand you. Your inner truth. Fixing your life means learning to discern that voice from all the others. And then this is the hard part, trusting it. Even when it leads you into the unknown. Especially then. You will lose people when you start living from your center. Some will call you selfish. Let them. Because the life you're building now is not for their comfort. It's for your soul. Carl Jung once said, "The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved but only outgrown." You don't fix your life by finding the perfect answer. You fix it by becoming the person who no longer needs one. By turning inward. By reclaiming the energy you've scattered. By facing your shadow. By grieving what's gone. By living from your inner truth. This is the work of individuation. The work of the mature soul. The work of a lifetime. And it begins the moment you stop waiting for the world to change and start transforming yourself. If this resonated with you, take a moment. Sit with it. Let it settle. And if you're ready to go deeper into Carl Jung's wisdom, into the psychology of the unconscious mind, into the spiritual path of self-discovery, stay here. There's more to explore. The journey inward is the only journey that truly matters. And you've already begun.